The last-minute rush for PVC pushes number of eligible voters in Nigeria to over 96 million. Will this huge number lead to bigger numbers than the 2019 and other previous elections? Some say the carpet covering the nation's political arena is wearing thin due to the incessant cross-carpeting among political actors. What is the incentive? Is it to help or for self-help? Now, moving on, today we will talk to a presidential candidate and his date with destiny, the internal and external hurdles he faces just to get to the podium. Also on political update today, tackling insecurity decisively before the polls. Stakeholders say will greatly enhance the conduct of the 2023 general elections. We have these and more on our lineup. I am Fisayo Ogunfuyi. Welcome. The presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, in the past days unveiled the second part of his 5-point agenda for national development.
September 28 is the official date for the commencement of campaigns by political parties ahead of the 2023 polls. Parties are already fastening their belts to take off with less than 2 months to go. Reset Nigeria is the acronym for the PDP campaign train, and the agenda is focusing on 5 points: reunification, economy, security, education, and true federalism. And this was sparked by the PDP new generation, comprising mostly youth and women.
Our target is to deliver 5 million votes to the Atiku Abubakar.
We shall endeavor to achieve this goal, not as mere young people, but patriots of our great country, Nigeria.
Shuttling between the Atiku campaign office and the PDP national headquarters will no longer be tolerated, as the job of winning elections is at the grassroots and then watching the votes at polling units, says Atiku.
Don't hang around in Abuja, establishing and creating so many support groups. Go back to your unit, deliver it together, and throw it together. As if we can fix a nation.
I believe this particular organization is made up of circuits.
Party stakeholders, officials and supporters agreed to work for the victory of the party come 2023. The PDP new generation executives at all levels across the country were earlier inaugurated with the clear message: go and deliver Atiku.
Meanwhile, Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike has met with some PDP governors and other stakeholders who coordinated his presidential campaign. Many believe this is not unconnected to the impasse that may have arisen after the party's presidential primaries.
The meeting was the first after the party's presidential primary, held behind closed door. Findings, however, revealed that issues discussed revolved around the seemingly unresolved post-presidential primary crisis, threatening to create splinter groups in the party. A member of the PDP Board of Trustees and North Central Coordinator of the Wike presidential campaign, Professor Jerry Ghana, briefed the media.
We have frankly reviewed matters among ourselves. We want to confirm that we are solidly together as a group. And we also want to let the nation know that we shall keep our people briefed as developments unfold.
At another strategic meeting of PDP members, Senator Dino Melaye, representing the presidential candidate of the PDP, Atiku Abubakar, harped on the need for the party to remain as one united and strong voice of opposition.
Youth to come together. They should think on what to do that will better this country for us.
Meanwhile, the coalition of PDP National and Diaspora Certified Group has expressed concern over the non-constitutional provisions for diaspora voting in Nigeria.
We are all stakeholders in this project. You don't need to wait for anybody to tell you, come and join the race.
US-based Director General Daniel Akeni makes a case on the need for the National Assembly to consider issues surrounding diaspora voting.
Now, Vice Presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Senator Yusuf Dati Baba, has disowned all social media handles in his name carrying unverifiable information.
I do not have a verified social media. So for safety reasons, consider all of them as unauthentic and fake. All are unauthentic, unverified, and fake. And there are too many for me to memorize. Like I said, some of them have misspelled, some of them are using the wrong format of my name, they are using wrong pictures, they are using old pictures of my name. So all are fake.
Now to our main guest today. INEC has officially released 12,298,944 as the number of voters registered before the suspension of the exercise on the 21st of July. If this is added to the existing voting strength of 84,004,004, it takes the number of eligible voters in the 2023 elections to 303,028, a figure just about 4 million less than 100 million voters. Now, 18 political parties and their candidates will be jostling for these numbers in a few months. One of them is joining us today. Maazi Okudili Nwa Anyajike is the presidential candidate of the National Rescue Movement. Maazi, if you can hear me, you're welcome to Political Update.
Hello, Mr. Misayo, how are you doing?
All right, tell us a bit about this your rescue movement and what tools are you bringing on board?
Well, National Rescue Movement is just about rescuing Nigerians from Nigerians. We are on a mission to save Nigeria from the quagmire, from the disastrous leadership we have had in the past years, and from the political uncertainties and economic uncertainties, security uncertainties that is in front of Nigerians today. We are not just coming to do politicking like other people are doing politicking. We are only here on the sole mission to save Nigeria.
Okay, Maazi, now it seems you yourself needed some rescuing in recent time when your name was nearly substituted by your party. What is the status now?
I think I needed some rescue, and the faithful members of the party, including the founder of the party and the national leader, Senator Seyd Dansado, and some real Nigerians that don't want to do the normal politicking, they come to my rescue, and I think I've been rescued.
Okay, so what has happened now? Your name is there, and as everybody come on board, other parties, everybody is getting ready for the push for 2023. For you, those who rescued you and those you were rescued from, is it now a straight platform for the push for the election?
We are ready. We are moving ahead. Even though there are some nitty-gritties that need to be taken care of, like some technicalities with the impact that happened in INEC, and we are sure that within a short period of time it will be taken care of. But the party is moving on. We are forming our campaign strategies in our own way, in our own ways that is not like every other person is doing. So we are moving on, and the party is all together.
Okay, talking about the National Rescue Movement, have you been able to sell your ideas to the Nigerian voters? As you can see, we're talking of, based on INEC's report yesterday, 96 million. Are you planning to reach them? And have you been able to sell your idea so far as a party before we even talk about you getting to the podium?
We are selling our ideas. Like I said, we are not looking for supporters who are not organic. We are looking for grassroots organic supporters who are going to follow us to the core. And so far, so good. We are everywhere. We are making the moves we need to make. We are taking the necessary strategies to put everything in place. And we are sure that, yes, out of the 96 million so far registered, we are going to get at least 30 or 40% of it, which is what somebody needs to win the election.
All right, let's move on to some of the concepts. You look more at well, we've known about at least you look of the younger generation. Now, what ideas are you selling because of the huge numbers of youths that will be participating in this election as the electorate?
A new Nigeria. We are bringing in a new concept of politicking, a new concept of leadership, a leadership that is based on technology and smart ideas, smart securities, smart economy, smart education, smart healthcare system, and everything about smartness that has to do with intelligence and digitalism. So we are bringing Nigeria out of the analog leadership and analog management of the economy to a more smart ways of doing things like other countries in the world. So we are trying to make Nigerians understand that yes, you don't need to be in Aso Rock to lead Nigeria. You can be anywhere in the world, you can lead Nigeria. You can be in Enugu, you can be in Aba, you can be in Katsina, you can be in Zombe, but the leadership of the nation revolves around a central unit that is well streamlined, synchronized, and controlled by the database that everybody in Nigeria can log into the system and see how the government is doing.
Okay, before I let you go, because of course time is not up, but I want you to in concrete terms, of course you've spoken about your party, and we've seen other parties already also gearing for this. Is it a case of have you had any opportunity, for instance, to test the waters apart from the election in your party? Have you had any opportunity to test the waters in terms of the popularity of you as a candidate and your party as well?
I'm very, very popular among my domain, among my peers. People that knows me. And I'm a businessman that has been in business for more than 23 years. I have business in about 6 countries, and I have business in Nigeria. People knows me. But Nigerians don't need a popular person. Nigeria need a good leader. A young, pragmatic, and digital leader.
All right, Mazi, if you just hold the line, we'll still come back to you for your closing comments, but we need to move on the program now very quickly. Let's just take one. We've been talking about security and the threats to the Nigerian political calendar, and of course recently, especially around the Federal Capital Territory, we've seen some threats as well. We had a chat with a retired United States Army colonel who says the Nigerian government has done so much, but there needs to still be a few more things to be done to clear the nation of the outlaws.
We have to spend a lot of time in intelligence and surveillance in this country. Has to be fully established, and also those agencies that are in charge of intelligence and surveillance, these agencies need to be re-evaluated. They have to be re-evaluated and see, what is wrong and what is good. They keep what is good, what is wrong. They keep it aside and try to modernize the intelligence and the intelligence and surveillance, I would say. As you see, there's been a lot of killings with some of the military personnel, some of the police, and all. And I think I read recently that the United States have approved some, I think about 12 attack helicopters. And these attack helicopters should be used, should be used as reconnaissance, although they have to have a warhead and persistent guide missiles. Throughout not only the capital territory, also other states. For example, like the kidnapping of the folks from the train. I think an attack helicopter should be assigned on the route of the train, to be patrolling that route of the train, and also some other routes. For us to minimize this problem, I think a lot of time need to be spent on intelligence and surveillance. I remember when the former national security, when I was in active service, I was in the African Command, and the former national security advisor, I think it was Colonel or General Dasuki, visited us, and I told them what the problem is and where they have to start from. You see, the problem, to solve this problem, actually, you got to start from the border. Your border is very spurious, and you just left your border open like that. So, people are going to be coming in, and the border the federal government need to be very prepared to spend billions of billions of billions of dollars or billions of billions of billions of naira on the border. The border got to be closed. But when I say border closed, not totally closed. Like, for instance, the border between Chad and Niger, it got to be one way in, one way out. The same thing with Cameroon, one way in, one way out. The same thing with Chad, one way in, one way out. The same thing with the Republic of Benin, one way in, one way out. You have to fortify your border. You have to fortify your border. You have to do a lot of patrolling on that border.
That Colonel Ogbonweko Osemede of the United States Army, of course, is also in Nigerian police good terrain and is offering his own piece as far as the fight against insecurity is concerned. Now, the All Progressive Congress says it is sustaining its reconciliation efforts amongst party members in a recent visit by the party's Consultation and Reconciliation Committee to Katsina.
The national headquarters of the APC has set up committees to go around the country and reconcile with aggrieved party members after the primary election. The committee for the northwest of the country, headed by the APC Zonal Vice Chairman Salihu Mohammed Lukman, held discussion with party leaders and stakeholders in the state. The aim was to find out problems that the party needs to address in order to be stronger than 2019 in the northwestern part of the country. Katsina State Governor Aminu Bello Masari emphasized the need for the party to go around the country on fact-finding mission with the aim of addressing problems in order to have united party for the 2023 elections. The governor urged elected local government council chairmen in the state to work towards ensuring victory in next year's general elections. He appreciated the state leadership of the APC for constituting committees to reconcile with aggrieved members after the just concluded party primaries.
All right, before we go, we will go back to our guest, Mazi Okudili. Anyajike is the presidential candidate of the National Rescue Movement. Talking about Mazi Okudili, you are shrinking a little via Zoom, but let's hear your closing comments in terms of your party. We have, we can't say, it's a smaller party, but it's a bit on the newer side. So what have you gotten the buy-in of at least different segments of society to make sure that when you come to the polls next year, we'll be talking about a strong showing by the NRM? While we're still trying to get Mazi Okudili on the program. Of course, as we earlier said, INEC has officially released over 12,298,944 is the number of voters registered before the suspension of the exercise on the 21st of July. Now, Mazi, I understand you are back online. Can you tell us a bit about, finally, have you gotten a buy-in of different segments of society? And, of course, did this process, this litigations, this crossfire between you and some members of the party in terms of, substitution of name, and has that perhaps slowed down your moves at the moment? I'm afraid we can't continue with Mazi Okudili's signals but of course, in a couple of months we will be getting more of the candidates as well as different political parties come on to tell Nigerians exactly what to look out for and the choices before them as far as the 2023 general elections is concerned. Like I said, we will be looking at those numbers. INEC officially released 12,298,944 as the number of voters registered before the suspension of the exercise on the 21st of July. And if this is added to the existing voting strength of 84,004,044, it takes the number to about just over 96 million, making just about 4 million less than 100 million. That makes Nigeria one of the biggest, largest democracies in the world, and that we should be put on show next year with free, fair, and credible elections. My name is Fisayo Ogunfuyi. Thanking you for staying tuned and joining the NTA, Africa's finest and largest, for news, reviews, previews, and interviews. And don't forget, this is the political season, so play your politics for the greater good. Bye bye now.